What's going on, people? It's Larry Jenkins coming to you again. Blazing Sports Support, same spot, same location, same clothes, same everything. I'm representing the Seattle Sounders of the MLS. We know the MLS is in full swing this week. But I'm not here to talk about soccer. I mean, I'm still learning the game of soccer as it pertains to the MLS and all this other stuff. I know players, I know teams, I know talents, but I don't know the game. This year I want to try to follow the MLS as closely as possible. That way I can build a more soccer friendly fan base. It is my third favorite overall sport after basketball and MMA. So now we're going to talk about the NFL. What the hell were the Miami Dolphins thinking when they traded Brandon Marshall for 2 third-round picks? I have no idea. The thing is, Brandon Marshall gets reunited with Jay Cutler. What does this mean? This means that the Chicago Bears will have that quarterback, wide receiver, deep threat that they've been missing. Now, we all know that Chicago Bears defense is awesome. It's been great for many, many years. They had the unfortunate loss of Brian Urlacher last year to a season-ending injury. But here's the thing. Jay Cutler, he's been he was doing pretty good last year. I mean, it was one of his best years last year. But I think injuries forced him out. Your boy Caleb Haney came in there, and then things just went straight to hell. But we gotta remember, this team was going great last year. When Forte was healthy, when Cutler was healthy, when all these guys were healthy and they were producing, that was one of the best teams in the NFL. Injuries hit them, and we all know what injuries can do to a team. It can tremendously hurt you in the long run. Now, we see Brandon Marshall getting traded to the Chicago Bears, and what does that mean for the Chicago Bears? Well, in my opinion, it makes Chicago Bears a legitimate offensive attack. Now, the thing that the Chicago Bears are going to have to do, they're going to have to re-sign Matt Forte. I don't know if that has happened yet. If I'm not mistaken, the man is still out there to be had in free agency. We know that they had the contract issues before season's end. Matt Forte wanted to get paid the big money, which he absolutely deserves, in my opinion. But I think if you take away that dynamic of Matt Forte being back there in the Chicago uniform, we all know that he said I can't remember, I don't watch the Pro Bowl, but I remember hearing reports that he said he would play in the Pro Bowl, which I think was a dumb move. It's a meaningless game. I guess he wanted to try to advertise himself for other teams out there. But Matt Forte has to be re-signed in order for this Chicago offense to be potent, in my opinion, with the addition of Brandon Marshall. I think that Brandon Marshall will be great to this team. Him and Jay Cutler know each other. They have the chemistry. Brandon Marshall with Jay Cutler, that dynamic was awesome in Denver. Now these guys get reunited in Chicago. We got to remember, Chicago is one of the best teams in the NFC when healthy. When Jay Cutler is consistent, we got to remember, Jay Cutler hasn't had anybody to throw the ball to outside of Matt Forte. Matt Forte catch it out the backfield at that as well. I think that with this move that the Dolphins have made, though, they are saying that they could free up cap space to bring in Reggie Wayne to help try to persuade Peyton Manning to stay. But I think Reggie Wayne will not sign with the Dolphins unless he's guaranteed that Peyton Manning will go to the Miami Dolphins. Now, I don't think Miami is that attractive anymore, considering the fact that they moved Brandon Marshall away, because you could have teamed up Reggie Wayne and Brandon Marshall in that wide receiver core, and you'd had a very dynamic offense with Reggie Bush out the backfield. You got Fasano out there, tight end. I mean, there's a lot of things that the Miami Dolphins could have done, but they've decided to not go that route. They decided to let Brandon Marshall go and bringing in one receiver. We all know in the NFL, one receiver can't get the job done. Sure, they can put up big numbers, especially if you're somebody like an Andre Johnson or a Larry Fitzgerald or Calvin Johnson Jr. I mean, there are a lot of guys who can get it done by themselves, but the thing is, Reggie Wayne is not one of those guys. He will be double covered. There's no other guy that is a legitimate threat on that team. I'm sure they got Devon Best or what have you, but my thing is, with this move, this basically takes the Dolphins out the running for Peyton Manning, in my opinion. With the news saying that Peyton Manning may end up going to Denver, I would not be surprised in the least bit if we see Peyton Manning in a Denver uniform. I'd much rather see him with these current situations, these current circumstances right now. I wouldn't mind seeing the man in the Arizona uniform, him hooking up with Larry Fitzgerald. But we all know that the ultimate prize in this whole free agency thing will be Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning has gone to visit the Titans today. He's visited with the head coach for the Dolphins in Indianapolis. He had a red carpet treatment in Arizona. He had an in-depth look at how everything is run in Denver. I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now with Peyton Manning. But on the Dolphins front, I don't understand this move, especially if you're trying to bring in a talent like a Peyton Manning. It makes no sense to me. I don't know what's going on with the Dolphins front office. We know that they've always been inconsistent in years past, but this is a whole new thing to me. I don't understand this move at all. Just to bring in one guy to make Peyton Manning happy is not going to be, in my opinion, the best move for these guys. You get rid of one of the best receivers in the NFL for 2 third-round picks. I mean, something has to be wrong there. I know Brandon Marshall has incident problems. I know he has issues mentally or what have you, but you know what you're going to get talent-wise on the field. I think that Chicago will be a better team for this, especially if they re-sign Matt Forte. And I think Chicago, with this move, can actually propel them, if they stay healthy, into Super Bowl title contention. I think that this move makes them that much of a better team. When you consider the defense that they have on the opposite side of the ball, coupled with Brandon Marshall, deep receiver, big, strong, physical guy with Jay Cutler, when motivated, when healthy, throwing him the ball, it'll be a great dynamic for the Chicago Bears. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Brandon Marshall going to the Chicago Bears is a great move, or do you think it's a better move for the Bears or a worse move by the Dolphins? My personal opinion, I think it's a worse move by the Dolphins in terms of trying to secure Peyton Manning. Do I think it'll work out in the end for either team? I think it's a better benefit for the Bears than it is for the Dolphins. Larry Jenkins, Blazing Sports Report. I'll holler at y'all boys. Peace.